Our guest this morning went from playing the brilliant Karen in Coronation Street to starring in some of our favourite British dramas in recent years. I mean, what a list. Scott and Bailey, A Touch of Cloth, very funny. Dr. Foster, Save Me, Gentleman Jack. She just wowed us in I'm Victoria. And this coming Sunday, she will star in a gripping BBC One drama set aboard a nuclear submarine. Officer of the Watch, dive the submarine and say hello to Suranne Jones. Hello, Suranne.
Good morning. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm so happy to speak to you. Last time you were here in person and there was a band and it was, but it's so lovely to talk to you. How have you been keeping?
All right, yeah. I mean, I've been really busy with all these dramas, and then now they're all coming out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't. A lot of them were done in COVID time, so I'm like, oh, they're really coming out. We really did all that.
Yeah, well done, everybody, because otherwise we'd have all run out of things to watch and we'd be very grumpy. But I tell you what, Vigil, it's so good. I watched episode 1 yesterday. I couldn't breathe for the first 10 minutes. I literally held my breath. What a cast. I mean, you've got Martin Compson in there, Rose Leslie, Patterson, Joseph, Sean Evans, of course, who plays Mawson in Dever. You've got the wonderful Connor Swindles. What a gang. And you and Rose Leslie, what can you tell us? I cannot say too much because you can't give anything away, so I'm going to give that responsibility to you, Suranne.
Oh my goodness. Do you know what? I've never been in like a big thriller kind of drama like this that's had such a build-up, like the Line of Duty style show. So, I mean, that's what attracted me to it. I was like, I quite fancy being in something like that. And but when it comes to promoting, you can't say anything. So I guess all I can tell you is that which is Rose's investigation, and then there's mine on the submarine. So I play DCI Silver, and she is tasked to go onto the sub to find out what's happened. There's been a murder down there, and that's all I can tell you really, except it's a real ride of a show, as you will, as you've been saying all morning. You really do hold your breath because it's tense.
It is really tense. You're totally getting your Miss Marple on of like, well, he's dodgy. I'm not sure about her. What do we say about her? I mean, the thing is, there's a great line in it where Lolita Chakrabarti's character says to your character, "How are you with confined spaces?" And I mean, I'm not great in the sea. I'm not brilliant in boats. You have to be lowered from a helicopter into a submarine. I mean, did you spend any real time on a real submarine, Suranne? How was that?
No, and when I read the script, that was the first thing. I rang my agent and I said, I want to be lowered onto this submarine over the sea. I really want to do this. And she was like, yeah, but what's the script like? I was like, I don't know yet. I've just read that first bit. But no, we didn't. I mean, we filmed in Glasgow, and our design team built this submarine set. And so we were in a warehouse on the set. But I mean, it was amazing, and it's still kind of a closed set. So you know, we did feel very claustrophobic. And if you thought episode 1 felt tense, by episode 6 it gets a lot worse.
Oh my goodness me! Stop. Honestly, the things that happen. It's interesting because one of the officers, when your character is lowered into the submarine to start your investigations, and no one will talk, and and there's so much going on, and it is 6 episodes. If that's episode 1, I'm thinking, my goodness me, this is going to get heavy. You know, there is this whole thing that there's a lack of oxygen in a submarine. Apparently, it's quite low oxygen levels, so it sometimes can give you headaches. And obviously, I mean, I learned about the size of them, and I don't know whether this is just a line for the drama, but the length of 2 football pitches and the height of 4 double-decker buses. But of course, it's all there's a lot of metal down there, cramped spaces, everyone sleeps, and that whole atmosphere of something dodgy going on in these cramped spaces, and a woman here who has her own dramas, of course, in that space. I mean, the atmosphere, the music, it's so brilliant.
Yeah, and I think that's what we need. I mean, you know, the scripts are brilliant. Tom and his team have done a brilliant job on that, and like you said, the cast is amazing, and they're all beautiful people. I mean, all top actors, but we got on so well, which I think was really important, so that we could really play all that kind of mystery and have fun with it. But I just want people to enjoy it. It's a real roller coaster of a show, and I just think that it's one of those that you can really get behind. And like you said, you can just play guessing games of who done it, and it's just fun. It's a big, old, fun roller coaster show.
Yeah, and you do get sort of slightly thrown about a bit. So you did do your own stunts, Suranne, yeah?
I did, yeah. I had a brilliant stunt coordinator and a stunt artist with me called Rachel, but she really let me do a lot of the stuff, because I thought, I'm getting on a bit, Zoe, and, I might not be able to do everything for, all as I get older. So I thought, well, my joints can do it. I'm going to give it all a go. So, yeah, I got a bit bruised, a bit battered, but when you see it, we did a BFI screening the other day, and it was up on the big screen, and it just looks great. It's really filmic. The way that James and Isabel have directed it, and our DOP Matt has just done a stunning job on it.
They really have. Honestly, I can't wait to watch episode 2, but I thought I'd watch it with all the listeners, because otherwise you know too much and you fear giving stuff away. So Vigil starts on BBC One Sunday night at 9 o'clock. We'll talk more with Suranne. By the way, can't wait to see Suranne in the Vigil. Suranne is always a guarantee of quality drama and such a stellar cast and original plot. This is going to make my bank holiday weekend, says Andy of Aylesbury. Suranne?
Oh, thanks, Andy.
There you go. You see, he's so right, though. Everything you do is gold. And I think we all get really excited when we see any adverts for something you're in, because you're like, you make great choices, Suranne, and you get offered great parts, which is wonderful. And it's all down to your fabulous acting. Tell us a little bit about I Am Victoria, this incredible series created by the British writer-director Dominic Savage. They're all available on All 4. I Am Victoria. Tell me a bit about Victoria.
I saw the first original series and just loved it, with Samantha Morton and Vicky and Jem Chan and Vicky McClure, and I just loved it. And when I met Dominic, he said, what story would you like to tell? Because each female actor writes the story with Dominic. So I just felt very much like I needed to tell this, like it had to come out of me. And it was the first thing I filmed out of lockdown. And it was just a portrait of a modern woman who lives with anxiety and the pressures of feeling like they have to be perfect in this world. And I think it is not just a female story. I think a lot of men have written to me since they've watched it, but it just felt very raw and relevant, and they're all improvised, so it was very different style for me. But I've had so many brilliant and beautiful, and thank you to everyone that's written to me about it, but I just felt like it was a story that needed to be told, and so did Dominic.
Yeah, fantastic. I Am Victoria. You can find it on All 4. Also, Letitia Wright has done I Am Danielle. Letitia, of course, from Small Axe, and the wonderful Leslie Manville has done I Am Maria as well. When can we expect more Gentleman Jack? Because another huge hit. Are you filming at the moment?
We are, yeah. We've been filming for nearly a year because of COVID. We had to keep stopping and starting, and lots of things to overcome with it being a big period drama. But we've got 4 weeks left to film, and I start again not next week, the week after. So by October it should be done, and it'll be out on screens next year, but I'm not too sure when.
Okie dokie, cannot wait to see you back in the britches. It's a good look. I love that look.
I do.
Honestly, Vigil is so good, Suranne. Congratulations to you and the whole team who've created this brilliant drama. I cannot wait to watch how this all unfolds. I'm sort of holding my breath at the very idea. I can hear the sound of a submarine in my ear. It starts on BBC One Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and then you'll be able to watch it on the BBC iPlayer. Suranne Jones, take care, darling. Always gorgeous to speak to you.
Lovely to see you, and hello to my little boy who's in the kitchen, and I know he's listening. Lots of love.
Good morning. Mummy's very clever, isn't she? I bet you're quite clever too. Bless him. Sending her all the love. Bye, darling.
Bye.